Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a not midnight edition of the Missing Wolves post-game podcast live stream thing. I'm your host, Andrew Dukowitz from Zone Coverage. Today, I have a awesome guest, Nadine from GopherHole. How's it going, Nadine?
I am doing so well because that was such a fun game.
It was such a fun game, and I'm going to immediately take us off the rails because we were in the locker room afterwards, and Anthony Edwards is playing some music that TJ Shannon sent him, and Rudy just at the end of his press conference, like I'm about to ask him a question on Bones, Rudy stops his press conference essentially and goes, "Should we freestyle?" And then Ant's like, "What?" And Rudy's like, "I'm going to freestyle." And Ant goes, "Yeah, I'm right behind you," plays the music louder. And I am going to not in rhythm read Rudy Gobert's answer about Bones Highland in his freestand. "That's my dog, Bones, getting buckets every night. Yeah, yeah, yeah." That was the freestyle.
Oh, I
So
was
Nadine,
expecting more.
I want you to rate Rudy Gobert's freestyle skills with Anthony Edwards as his wingman, because that was not on my bingo card for tonight.
Did you post the actual freestyle yet?
Immediately, yes.
Okay, because I'm gonna have to actually watch it and like get the essence.
This
But
is
like,
this is 2 years of chemistry I've built up with Rudy Gobert for him to freestyle into my phone in the locker room.
he is the last one that I would expect that. But you know what? I respect it. I love it. I like that this team feels comfortable and they're friendly. Because I mean, Rudy's like the more serious French guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. No notes. Yes, Rudy is the more serious French guy. And I mean, that's just the vibes of this team this year. Dane Moore kind of asked everybody in the locker room of just like how much fun they're having this year compared to last year. And pretty much everyone was like, yeah, we're having a lot more fun this year, except for Rudy. Rudy was like, I take every game and approach it the same way, and gave his serious French guy answer before rapping at me. But anyways, like it does seem like this team legitimately is having fun now, which I mean,
Yeah.
20 wins, it's hard not to have fun. But what do you what's kind of your vibe on them? Do they seem like they're having as much fun as I think they are?
I think so because I even felt it at media day. I felt like immediately going into that, they just seemed relaxed. They seemed like they had chemistry. A lot of them stuck around to just play with each other and work out and practice together. And I think it was just like, honestly, which goes into the game for tonight, but like the whole Cat, Julius, Dante trade, everything, I feel like everyone kind of felt a little slighted on that. And I felt like it took some time. And I think personally, like just seeing the vibe for Julius, I feel like
Yeah.
people loved Cat and that was their guy. And he obviously did so much for the community and everything. And I think they kind of looked at that trade one for one, not even thinking about the cap, not thinking about how much Cat costs and all those things. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that people gave Julius a hard time. And then you see this guy who loved us since day one, who loved Minneapolis, who is like, he's the only one that's got his kids there every single game. I mean,
Yep.
the games that are too late for you, his kids are like still cheering and having a
They
great
are
time and everything.
significantly more engaged than I am.
I get to see you and them, and yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like you see this guy, and just tonight it was just grown man basketball from him. Like, I don't know if you were watching, because like I just kept on watching that Cat Julius matchup because
Yeah.
Cat obviously wanted to be like dramatic and get a call and whatever, and the refs were letting them play. And Julius he's an extremely clean player, he's an ethical player, but he's a physical player. And it
Yeah.
was just so fun to see him just blow up and dominate that fourth quarter.
I mean, 13 straight points at one point. I think we had 4 consecutive possessions where the trombones were playing as he was walking down the court, which like that's honestly like that's the epitome of it for me. Like dude's played in LA. I mean, he was a lottery pick. He snaps his leg his first season, only plays 1 game. That's essentially done. Next season, it's kind of Kobe's farewell tour. Year after that is the when are they going to trade for Anthony Davis, and when is Julius Randle getting off of our team? Goes to New York for one, or he goes to New Orleans for 1 year. Doesn't really establish himself with anything. Like it's just a 1 year kind of rental, and then he
Mhm.
goes to New York. And I remember when the trade went down, like I had people
Mhm.
from like the New York, Brooklyn area, like texting or DMing me on Twitter of just like, have fun with the Julius Randle experience. It's great sometimes and terrible most of the times. And like, I think this is the first fan base that's embraced him. I mean, he has
Yes.
a nickname, for God's sake. Like, his kid's a
Mhm.
celebrity. Like,
Yep.
it is just kind of a testament of like, it does matter like what the fan base does to these people. And like, I think Julius is just fueled by it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's not just the fan base, but by the way, I think that that is a lesson to be learned for fans. Like, you really do make a difference, and you can get
Hmm.
somebody that can play this well or that can just not feel great. But also, I don't know if you saw that interview when he was talking about Kobe versus Ant. And he's like, obviously, Kobe, crazy generational talent, like good dude, whatever. He's like, but like night and day from Ant, because Ant is his biggest hype person. You're talking
Yeah.
about the franchise player that literally is just constantly giving these guys confidence. Like, his confidence is just exudes to like all the other players, because he has no ego about this. Like, he's just as happy if Julius scores, all these buckets in a row. He doesn't care. And Kobe was like, he's gonna knock you down. He's gonna like show you who's the number one. And he said it was just like, I think he did use some foul language in it, but it was like how great Ant was and how not an a-hole he is.
Ant was literally the wingman to a Rudy Gobert rap 10 minutes ago. So like,
For those
yes.
just joining.
Yeah. Like, legitimately, like, yes. I talked to Julius about it a couple days ago at practice and just kind of asked him of like, like, hey man, I'm sorry that this has been done to death, but like, does Ant kind of have that same like Kobe thing? And like, what are you learning from Ant? Because Julius talks all the time about what he's taken from Kobe and taken throughout his
Mhm.
career, and how like now that he's older, he's kind of like, oh, Kobe was right about pretty much everything. But like, Julius's point that he made to me was like, Ant is the exact same person no matter what, whether it's
Yes.
me, whether it's a bench guy, whether it's a janitor, whether it's Bill Gates, whether it's the president. Ant is just the exact same. And like, now that I've been around him more, like, it's the same guy every single time. It's the same jokes, it's the same stuff. And like, I do think that like exudes off of him. And I think on a night like tonight, where Julius doesn't start very well, he's struggling through most of the game and then just takes it over in the fourth, and you have Ant being the first guy to meet him at midcourt. That stuff matters.
Mhm. Right. It does, especially when you're the franchise guy and you don't really have to do that. Like, your
Yeah.
job's secure, you're fine. You're going to be getting paid the max amount. You're going to have all that. But like, it's so funny, even like when the whole betting stuff came out, and like games that Ant didn't had that weren't the best, obviously being double teamed or triple or whatever. But it's like, I'm like, I don't think you guys even like get his psyche at all. Like, Ant is never throwing a game. Ant is never doing anything. Like, all he wants to do is win a chip. Like, I think that if you paid him like $20 an hour, he'd be like, all right, I'm going to play ball and I want to win a chip?
I I don't know if he'd do it for $20 an hour, but like, maybe
Well, maybe a little more.
maybe in that ballpark, maybe a little
Mhm.
bit more. But like, I don't think it's just wild how good he is and how like little ego there is. Cause like, obviously he's like supremely confident. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was in the third quarter, he hit like back-to-back middies and a 3-pointer after a pair of Julius free throws. And it's just like, all three of those shots were arguably terrible. Like, any other coach would be pissed. And like, he just drills them. And it's like, yeah, that's Ant. And then also, he knows well enough to be like, oh, Julius is cooking. Let's let Julius like ride. Bill, let's go. Mini, it was a great game. Agree with you. Wonderful game. It's, Wolves have won 8 out of 10 now. Like, they have a 67% winning
Yeah.
percentage. They're a game and a half behind the 2 seed. Vibes are good, Bill. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, beating the
Um,
Thunder, unbelievable.
yeah. To me, like, still the most impressive win out of all these was the Bucks one. Like, that Bucks game is
Mhm.
a game they lose last year. Like, it
Mm.
is like, that is the game that
Especially at this
they're
time in the
feeling
year.
themselves. Yep, they're feeling themselves from the Thunder. They know Cat is coming home on Tuesday. Like, that Bucks game, they lose every other year except for this year. So like, my eyebrows are officially raised, of like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
Um, Grinch, are you the Grinch that was at the game? Is this the famous Grinch that continues to come to games and is now a local celebrity? But yes, crowd does love Bones. Everyone
Oh
loves
my,
Bones.
have you talked about the woman and the meme with Bones yet?
Yes, and John Krasinski showed Bones it, I think, at his live stream. So Bones is aware that some lady behind him was
like
infatuated.
like she
And
could have
yes,
just
Grinch
had a
with the
bite of
shifts.
food.
Everyone go follow him on X. He is the Grinch guy that shows up to the Wolves
Oh
games
my
in the full
gosh.
Grinch outfit.
Oh my gosh,
I know,
Mr.
a
Grinch,
local celebrity, Nadine.
he should be in my seat right now. Like he's a way bigger deal. If you want to swap him out, I would not be offended at all.
For people who weren't at the game and didn't watch it, Grinch with the Shifts has at least 2 games now shown up in full Grinch apparel with like a Grinch nose piece, which like I don't understand how you're drinking throughout that, Mr. Grinch, because that seems like a hassle, but you are a local celebrity now. So thank you for bringing the hype. Nadine, I do want to like kind of get on the bummer track of this because I
Oh,
feel like this was, it's one of those things where like this was the most quintessential Carl Anthony Towns game that I can like quite literally draw up. Like a ton
mhm,
of points in the first half, can't really score when it matters. Julius is just taking him to the clinic every time on offense. He
mhm.
has 5 fouls and almost fouls out with like 3 minutes left on like a Rudy mid-post entry pass. Like it just every note of this game, even included the stray voltage whip the ball out of bounds turnover that he
Mhm.
then complained there was a foul on. Like just I mean, you've been on the beat for a few years. Like what is it like watching Towns come back to town? Is it just kind of like a woof? Because that's kind of where I land now. Is just even when I watch the Knicks casually, it's just I don't miss it very much. I miss him as a
Oh,
person and in the community,
yes.
certainly, but like I don't miss the place.
I could not echo that anymore. And that's what I would like to separate too. Carl Anthony Towns as a person, he got so many applause tonight. People love him. He was taking pictures, he was signing autographs. He gives so much to charity. He is a great human being. Like, and now
Yes,
let's I almost tell me if it
unequivocally good person.
good person. Tell me if I'm crazy for this because we haven't talked about this yet. But I almost feel like he is like a Shay, where it's like he's this crazy rare talent, and
Mhm.
he could be a favorite to everyone if it wasn't all the dramatic complaining and like everything. Like it's so frustrating to watch that you just like, but he doesn't get the calls like Shay,
Yeah.
but he just does it nonstop. And I did, and the second I started watching him, I was like, I do not miss that at all because you are such a rare, unbelievable talent. You see some of these crazy shots he's making at, being a 7 footer. You're like, you shouldn't be able to do that. And then you see the dramatic and constantly falling and this and that. And I'm just like, what? Just play. Like, Ant should have rubbed off on him with just playing clean, hard, physical basketball, you know?
Yeah, it's just again, like I think I tweeted out at halftime of like Cats at 30 something. This is just fixing up to be one of those games where he scores 50 and they lose by 10. And like he scored 40 and they lost by 11.
Yeah.
Like it just I don't miss it. I don't miss the foul baiting stuff. I don't miss the offensive foul where it's just like, you just can't get called for an illegal screen every single game. Like one game out of 10, just don't
Mm,
do it. But it's every game. The 5 turnovers is tough. And it's just like it makes sense why New York is really good because they have Jalen Brunson. They have these guys that are
mhm.
just like kind of around him that I think are a lot more not like mentally stable because Cat is like a mentally sane human being, but
Yeah.
like I think they just have guys around him that are more solid. Like you know what you're getting game in and game out. And I just don't like even looking back, like I don't know how much better off they'd be if they had Towns. Cole mentions Randall isn't much better with the pouting. There are some like
Oh,
good compilations of first half Randalls where he is looking pretty engaged or disengaged and frustrated. There's one thing that's been going online on Twitter because that's the space that I live in. about Randle leaving the bench early at a lot of games, it's because he goes around the back to like dap up his kid and hug his wife. So like a lot of the times Randle's leaving the bench early, it's not because he's just like in a huff leaving. It's because he sneaks around the backside and then like says hi to his kids and daps them up and does the handshakes and things. But like there are some tough Randle body language games. I mean, I guess I'll just kind of ask you, Nadine, like,
Yeah.
what are we now? 14 months, 15 months post trade. Like, how are you feeling with the Randle versus Cat of it all?
I think that it's not one for one. I think that's the biggest thing, that we kind of mentioned before, where it's like it wasn't just a straight up trade. It's like
Mm-hmm.
we want to keep Ant, we needed to have money, like, and we got Dante. Like it was more complicated than that. But if I actually today we kind of got in and out of the press conference, but Ryan from Canis had asked, like, do you think this is a little personal still? And Finchie said yes. And I really did want to ask Finchie, and I don't know if he would have answered it or he would have like looked at me like I was an idiot, but like if he thinks that Minnesota's won the trade. Cause I think that we have, just because I just think long term, this just gives us a lot of opportunities. And I mean, and this is just selfish. I mean, yeah, Randall may pout here and there, but he is not a foul baiter. He is a physical player. He is fun to watch. Like, just selfishly, I really enjoy watching him. I also love watching Dante play too, especially when he gets
Yeah.
hot. It's just it's really fun basketball to watch, and that's like a selfish thing. And I mean, obviously, it's like both of these teams went to their conference finals. So it's like it's neck and neck, it's like you can't really say. I mean, do you feel like by the way, I'm seeing that the financially, yes, but they're both frustrating to watch. I mean, isn't everyone frustrating to watch at times? Like, I mean, when you
I,
see Ant jacking up some crazy shot, like that's frustrating. He's one of the best players in the world.
Thank God they don't have face cams on media, because some of Ant's shots that he shoots, like just as like a basketball purist that wants ball movement and like 2012 Spurs, 2017 Warriors, like pass to the pass off ball things, and you see Ant just come down the court and shoot like a contested three with like 18 seconds left on the shot clock, like the look I must give sometimes, but then it goes in and it's just like, yeah, that's why Ant is one of the 5 to 8th best players in the world, and he's just different. Anyone else shoots that, they're probably getting scolded. But I mean, I will say, like, I think right now, objectively, I think the trade's kind of tied still. Like New York made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, Minnesota made it to the Western Conference Finals. I am going to assume both of them are going to win multiple playoff rounds this year. I look at it more of like, if this season ends and they're like one round and bounced out and they need to make a change, or they decide to go after Giannis this offseason, or they decide to like make a really big swing with the Cat trade, it allowed them to break up one contract of like 50 something million into essentially Julius, half of Nas, Dante, and Johan. And when you're going after a big player, or you're going after even a smaller type of deal, like a 30 million for $30 million guy, it just gives them so much more flexibility. And if you have Cat, you don't have as much flexibility, because you just have this one chunk of money that you have to move in any deal. This offseason, they can pair Rudy with Dante and trade it. They can pair Randle with Dante. They can do Randle and Nas. They can do Rudy and Nas. They can put Dante with pretty much anyone and get to 30 or 40 million. Like, it just opens so much more, so many more options, not this year, but like this upcoming off season where their picks become available. It is just, I'll say I'm hesitant to say the Wolves have just won it, because like both teams got to where they needed to go with that trade. I just think you look at New York and they're really handcuffed now. I mean, they have Mikal, Brunson, Cat, and Hart, and pretty much everyone else on that team is either going to be your Jordan Clarkson, like signed for less or like traded in for young pieces, or they're going to be like rookie scale guys, which it just decimates your bench. And
Yeah.
I think we saw that tonight. Like Brunson's out and now Tyler Kolek is playing 40 minutes, and like that guy shouldn't be playing 40 minutes.
I
Like,
did like a double take. I'm
shouldn't.
like, who's that kid and how old is he? And like,
I
are we
mean, when
really?
Mike looks fast, that's not like a good sign for like your point guard defense. Grinch mentions also gave us Johan, which I mean, I'll be honest, I have a lot of hope in the kid. I think he has a massive amount of upside. It's just really raw. Cole mentions on the defensive end, we miss Cat. Randle as a cone. I hate it. Game plan attack Randle. Also adds maybe if we get a point guard, I would love Randle more. I think Randle, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Like I think Randle, like the best version of Randle, I've said it before, like is probably the best player on like a middling team. I don't know how far he gets you if he's your like best guy, but I think like next to an Ant, it can work.
Yeah.
And his defense is weird because when he's motivated, he's fine, but when he's not
Today
motivated,
watching him,
it's tough. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like he was all over Cat and just like playing great D.
And then there's some games where he gets back cut 17 times and it's just like, what are we doing? And Finch's hair is going grayer by the minute.
Oh, poor Finchy. Who's that kid? What kid?
Teresa's commenting on your "Who's that kid" on Tyler Kolek.
Oh.
Professor just adds it was a smart trade, which I agree. I'm hesitant to say who won it because if the Knicks win a championship this year, like just objectively, the Knicks probably won that trade.
Yeah.
But like if the Wolves win 2 out of the next 5 years and the Knicks win 1, then it's, you know, it's probably the Wolves. But I think right now it's still a little too early. Nadine, I'm going to throw us over to a quick ad read here quick. But okay. 2 quicks again. I do that almost every podcast. A quick ad read quick. Anyways, when we come back, though, I do want to get your thoughts on the Nuggets game coming up because I think that's another measuring stick, right? Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com.
I really love that first ad read too, because I think it's so on point for people to start a project and then never finish it. Because that's like what needs to be marketed more. Like, hey, if you mess this up or you just got too busy, call Firehawk.
We decided to take out our entryway closet like 7 years ago and ripped the closet door off, ripped all the drywall down, and then found out that there was no flooring under the closet and it was just a piece of carpet on some 2x4s. And we were like, yep, this is never going to get done. So it's sat there for like 7 months. And then Isaac did it and it looks wonderful. And he even matched the stain for our wood floor and the floor that he put in. So I cannot recommend him enough. He also is a lifesaver if your pipes freeze because he can come over and at least get stuff to not flood your entire basement in the winter.
Mm.
He can at least stop that while you're finding a plumber. So Isaac, Firehawk Construction, awesome people. They're around the North Metro. Please use them. They are great. Grinch, real quick, just asks what the Jaden
Oh.
timeline is. I'll be honest. I think he's going to be back for Denver. He was wearing the blue jersey in practice, which usually
Mm.
means he's practicing with the backups. He looked fine doing his like shooting drills after practice. I think he'll be fine by Thursday. It's just, do you really need to like rush a guy back when you should beat this Knicks team?
Mhm.
But let's talk about the Nuggets, because we got some fun news. Aaron Gordon out injured, Christian Brown out injured, and Cam Johnson left today injured. So they have no defenders on their team other than like Bruce Brown. And it seems like it's looking like it'll be a game where it'll be just kind of Jokic and Murray against everybody.
Yeah.
How big of a win would that be though? If you go into Denver and win a week after beating Oklahoma City, like, does where does that put the Wolves? I guess I'll just ask it that way.
I think it's obviously nice to win. You go in wanting to win, trying to win, but it's not. I don't think
Mhm.
it boosts your confidence and ego and like makes you like a player, for a championship with a broken Nuggets team. But with that being said, Jo Joker is so good. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, I am obsessed with just watching him, like, when you're live, because on TV, they show you what you need to see, whatever. I love to see him off ball. I love to see everything he's doing. He is so aware. He's so smart. He is so unbelievable. Like, he is one of the most just coolest players to ever watch, and his brilliance. So it's like you still can't put anything past them because just him alone can light it up and he makes everyone better. He sees the court so well. He's such a great passer. He can do everything.
It's obnoxious how good he is. Like, I'm just gonna say it that way. It's
That's a good way to put it.
obnoxious. Like, I think you could put like a college team around him and they'd still be like the 10 seed. Like, he's just ridiculous. But I
Maybe
mean,
higher.
if the Wolves take out the Nuggets, I mean, they're a half game behind them for the 3 seed. They'd be another game closer to the Spurs for
Mm.
that 2 seed. I mean, all of a sudden, if we're talking about New Year's Day, the Wolves are the 2 seed. I think then we got to kind of adjust our expectations a little bit of just how good this team could be, especially if they're knocking out the Nuggets, Knicks, and Thunder all one after another. Um, you know, I still kind of say, Nadine, you know me. I'm very slow to move off of my opinion. So I still feel like this is going to be a season that is going to be frustrating the rest of the way, and there's probably going to be some ups and downs, which one of them, I believe they play the lowly not New Jersey, the lowly
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Nets next weekend
Mm.
before going to the Bulls, Hawks, Heat, Wizards. I mean, those are all games that are just kind of, this team sometimes doesn't wake up for them. I do want to ask you before we get out of here, just what's your opinion on that side of this team? Because I do think there's a lot of games where I remember Finch last season saying it's like Groundhog's Day. They just don't play in the first
Yes.
half and get into a 15-point deficit and then come back. I mean, what do you make of that? Because it's been happening for 2 years now.
I don't get it. And like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe a confidence knowing, like, hey, I can kind of load manage a little bit. We're going to stay within 20. And then it's not even the first half. It's usually not even the fourth quarter, but the last 5 minutes. That's normally when it gets turned
Yeah.
on? And so with that, it's like, is there that confidence that they just know they can do it, that they know they can catch up, and sometimes they fall a little bit short? Is it just, I don't know, not enough caffeine before the game? It's weird, but also I would rather have them finish strong than start strong. So I guess I don't have as much of an issue with them doing as well. I'm seeing another comment come in.
Not waking up for bad teams, oddly enough. I mean, that's what it is. I've just resorted to thinking there's just something in the water. Like the Lynx did this all season over the summer. Now the Wolves are doing it. Like maybe they got to change the pipes in the Target Center. Like it's weird that it's like two completely different teams, right? Like Ant
Mhm.
and Fee, while they are both great leaders and young talents, are completely opposite human beings. And Cheryl and Finch are both like New England, Philadelphia kind of curmudgeon-y people. I don't know. Finch is actually really nice and Cheryl's super charming. So that's probably just a generalization of them. But like, it is weird that it's just, I mean, even going back to the cat teams, they struggled with this. Like
Mhm.
the Pat Bev season, they dropped a bunch of games to just lowly teams. So now it's, I don't know. It's just, maybe it is a confidence thing that they just know they can turn it on.
Mhm. And I mean, a team led by Ant, like you're never really out of it. Like he can
Yeah.
just absolutely blow up and do that, and he's got the confidence, and that's it. It's absolutely contagious too.
I mean,
Um,
that might be as simple as it is. But what were you going to say?
Oh, I just wanted to get to one topic that I don't know if you talked about on your podcast, but it's actually like your favorite thing to talk about. And I just wanted you, because Andrew is
Replays?
yes, he's a very positive person. He's a lovely person. Nothing gets this guy more heated than the challenges. Like, have you gone into like your absolute hatred for this?
I just firmly believe that replay reviews are stupid and basketball was better before them. I understand that getting the play right is really important. And I understand that you know, there are really good uses of it and that it's saved teams losses and it's helped teams win and all of the benefits. I understand all of it. I just liked basketball better when we didn't have them. And when I could just watch a game without an impromptu like 7-minute delay to watch a bunch of refs look at a monitor as How the Grinch Stole Christmas plays in the background. Yeah, it's like literally one of my very few like old man get off my lawn like
Yeah.
waves just that cloud moment things, but like I just hate them in all sports, like even like football. Just
Mm.
I feel like the refs are good enough that they're going to screw up enough on both sides that it probably doesn't matter that much. But like, yeah, replays are the one thing that every time they happen, I just like die inside a little bit
Would
because I
would
just
your
know.
would your
No,
opinion change if there was a time frame? Like if they said 90 seconds from like or 60 seconds. And so you knew it was just like boom boom boom, they have to look quick, they have to like decide and then come forward. You're not going to watch this replay for 5 minutes.
I don't think it would. Like I
Okay.
just there's certain things like the Jaden McDaniels rule, which is basically like the ball went out on the other team, but Jaden fouled somewhere in the background. So they call a foul on Jaden. Like that drives me nuts. Every time there's a block charge replay, drives me nuts. Like every time there's a who last touched it out of bounds replay where it's like any other word, like any other point in time watching basketball,
Mhm.
the dude that hits the ball out, it's off of them. But now they're looking at like the nano frames of fingerprints to see who it came off of. So it's just things like that that ruin the entire process for me because it's
Yeah.
just like that's not basketball. Like the dude hit it out. It doesn't matter if like the guy that's holding the ball's fingertip touched it longer. Like the person that hit it out, it's off on them. Like we made it through 60 something years of watching basketball and no one had a problem with it. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to replay it to see if it was the last fingerprint or the block charge thing, which I don't think anyone really knows why it's dictated one way or the other. So there's very certain circumstances that drive me nuts enough to where it ruins the entire process with me and I'm just like, nah.
Well, and also too with basketball, it's a game of runs, and that really breaks up that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like the other thing that's just like, another like get off my lawn moment is like when there are 50 to 60 fouls in a game and you have 3 challenges and you have the TV timeouts. It's just like I don't understand how people can even play basketball. Like there's
Mhm.
no flow, there's no like rhythm that you're getting into because you're just sitting down for like 5 minutes every 2 minutes.
Well, that's how we beat the Thunder.
That is how we beat the Thunder. 47 free throws. That was unreal. But Nadine, I appreciate you so much for coming on and giving me space to argue all of my grievances out. If you agree that reviews are terrible, just shoot me a mention. Maybe we can sign a petition and get them out of the league. I don't know how many signatures we would need. Maybe like if Mark Cuban's listening, he can promote it as well. But replays out of basketball would be my number one wish
He's
list
already
for
killed
Christmas.
Ant's free throws. We don't need to get Mark Cuban involved in this.
Hey, Mark Cuban changing rules all the time in basketball. But Nadine, thank you so much. I do want to give you space. Anything you want to shout out? Where can people find you? What's GopherHole all about?
GopherHole.com is the leading message board for Gopher Sports, but we've just expanded because people love everything. So we have a Timberwolves board, we have a St. Thomas one now. We have, women's basketball, which, by the way, Andrew, if you guys didn't know, is writing for Gopher women's basketball for us. So absolutely love it. Check out GopherHole.com, and also need to give a shout out to you because I know you don't like compliments, and you guys,
Certainly
everyone listening.
Don't.
He's like,
still don't have my face on my profile picture.
Surprised he hasn't ended this right now. But you guys are just so lucky to get this guy doing coverage. Like, you see what he does, but he works so freaking hard. He is at every media availability. He's at every charity event. He's at everything. Like, you have changed the game for coverage for Timberwolves because people get to see everything now because of you. And we are so lucky to have you on that beat.
I am going to accept your compliment, because if I don't, my therapist would probably like smack me upside the back of my head. But I'm also going to say, like, the most rewarding part of all of this has been, like, the content I put out is the stuff that I always wanted as a fan. Like, I want to see the charity stuff. I want to see the practice stuff. I want to see guys just goofing around, or the Lynx players goofing around. And it has been very rewarding that so many other people wanted that stuff. Like, the amount of people that were also interested in why Jaden's wearing a t-shirt is like shocking, because before I came into the media beat, I thought it was just me that was going like, why is this dude wearing a different arm sleeve now? But apparently there's tens of thousands of us. So it's been very rewarding to know that there is a community of people out there that think about the same weird stuff I do during Timberwolves games. So on that note, if you came into this podcast late, it will be published up on YouTube as soon as we end recording here. It will come out as a podcast as soon as, actually, no, it'll come out as a podcast tomorrow morning. It's not Christmas Eve yet. So Christmas Eve at 7 a.m. There is also a Missing Links podcast coming out with Nicole Jackson, who is writing for the Best Damn W show. And she is going to be joining the Lynx beat next season. So we have another beat reporter that is going to be covering the team. And she joined my pod that's coming out tomorrow on the Missing Lynx feed. The Missing Wolves, which you're listening to now, will come out on that feed tomorrow at 7 a.m. And we will be back on Christmas. I think Sarah Burnick of Twitter Wolves Hall of Fame is joining me after that late Denver game. And I probably will be caffeinated, hopefully. If not, she's going to carry the entire show because I'll be ready for bed. But we will see you all on Christmas.
Great. Happy holidays.